Ace banned by Top Esports on the blue side, where anyone's legend on the red side, banning away that blind croc of the Renekton for 369 and the Leona Rumble here so far.
Probably go for some different picks there. You know, we're long gone from first pick Ari meta. That has changed quite a lot. Wow, yeah, Neferi so meta right now. So what do they want to go towards? You can go towards the Ashe Braum if you wanted, so the Ashe could be put in as part of that. And Top Esports one of the first LPL teams to pick that up. So now this opens up some very dangerous combinations for Top Esports where AL, they probably do want to lock in something tankier and engage support. There isn't that much which can deal with the Ashe Braum and in a way that can really stop that combo coming through, but also have good laning phase against it. They might have to take away the Braum. Kael's played a decent amount of it. But then you're playing Braum without the Ashe, and that is a much less effective form of the Braum.
Now we'll have to maybe see some spice thrown their way in the bot side. Right now, though, it is going to be the safety in the bot side, also potentially mid lane, but the Ezreal locked in immediately. So trying to have a little bit of that poke damage, maybe some of that peel back.
Yeah, you know, I'm surprised we haven't seen more Ezreal mid at least attempted at LPL.
I know, right?
We've even seen it because we've seen it a decent amount in LEC and in LCK and across the world. Yeah, we've had like 88 games of it, all of them in bot lane. Come on, like we've been experimenting a fair amount. We have 7 cities. Surely one of them will experiment. That is really the problem. They do take it away from that Ashe. That's understandable. The Ashe Braum as a combination, both those picks synergize so incredibly well with each other that it makes no sense to let that one go through. Ezreal Braum find defensive bot lane. Now that does mean that AL will need to find some engage elsewhere. Very hard to get quick first picks with this combo because they can just flash and cleanse away from it quite easily.
We were asking the question, what happens now on the new patch here? It looks like it will be locked in Tristana for Creme.
So Creme currently has a bit of a historic win streak here on the Tristana. He is very happy to keep that one coming through. His Top Esports consider their own kind of champions beyond this point. But in this year, folks, Creme is 15-0 on that Tristana. Yeah, it's been nerfed, but it's still Creme's Tristana. They need some magic damage from elsewhere. Tian, very happy to go towards this, and now suddenly you have Ashe engage, Lilia engage. Both of these are very good into the Braum as well, because Braum can struggle to close the distance against those two. And yeah, Shanks goes towards this Corki, which is fine into... I can't believe we're going Corki Tristana on 14-14 until we killed this. But yeah, Top Esports, they have themselves a real happy amount of engage here from range, which the Braum can't do that much about.
Yeah, I do like some of the poke, so be able to fire back some shots as you go, but you got to be careful when they can just completely dive onto you as you go. So right now, Tian locking in something that maybe sends a couple shivers down the spine of Croco after that first game. Absolutely living rent-free in his head. It is going to be potentially some more of that jungle focus in the second phase since AL haven't gotten that for themselves yet. Right now, their focus is the Bard for the bot lane plays.
Yeah, so it's just anything else which just adds into the obnoxious combo of things which can lane well into the Braum, but also bring about either map plays or engage plays. So the Bard, like when he's throwing those meeps, by the way, the way that Bard treats meeps really does quite disturb me. I don't know if they want to be thrown like that. That's a conversation for another time. But yeah, just banning away the range supports where, you know, Meiko, he had an R5 Karma in one of our games earlier in, I think it was against JDG actually, where it just ruined the game. The Karma can just ruin a laning phase like that. So banning away strong laning supports to stop the Braum getting abused by higher range champions is not bad. There is still something like the Rakan which can do pretty okay. Like that. I think we're also okay to play stuff like Brawl into Braum a lot of the time too, because even though you don't bully the Braum, you're not as like abusable as something like that Leona in the laning phase.
Really want to see if it's going to be some fight back from Croco into Tian. I think the brand provides so much that team fight potential. Does also provide that 1v1 strength, but I want to see him get the claws out here. Maybe not in the Nidalee, but just in general to try to fight Tian. It will just be the Cougar Claws anyways coming out for Croco.
But that's a Nidalee with very little setup. Croco's played the 2 games of Nidalee. He has won both of them. But yeah, you look towards this last pick, and Arla's going to have to pick something which you can play towards the top side. You could maybe go something like the Camille if the Casante's locked in and try and go for the hook shot Nidalee combo like that. But this is not... There are only so many players which we give the Nidalee pass to. Tian is one of them. Very good at that. Croco, like, we'll see if you can make this work with a difficult composition, basically. Like, it's fine into the Lilia, it means you can survive that early game, which, I mean, if you need to pick the Nidalee for Croco to have an early game, I somewhat understand it, but now you need to have Arlo with someone which can set up more easily, because there's no CC easily available elsewhere.
You need something to be able to play around this early game as well, and try to buy time at least for some of the poke to come down. Right now, they are just poke central, right? You just send everything at once, and maybe you get some good health trades onto a very squishy composition for the most part for top esports, but this Rakan for Meiko might just unlock everything for top.
Yeah, that Rakan is very, very good at kind of getting those engagements, but also good at kind of bullying out lower range champions too, because you just keep pinging that Q onto them. Braum hates playing as longer range supports, but then also one which can engage too is exactly everything that we wanted. We did highlight that Camille earlier. It makes sense. It is set up as good into that Cassandre. 369 likely knew this was coming, but 369, the gentleman he is, takes that losing matchup and says, well, the matchup which is kind of dangerous to the Cassandre, you can sometimes win through it, and says, okay, fine, I'll take this pressure, I'll join you in team fights, I'll peel for your carries later, that'll be fine, in the way that 369 ever the kind soul does for his team.
And love to see maybe a little bit more onus given over to Ala in the side lanes. I think they had to find something to be able to help Croco in some regard, and they're going to need to rely on Ala again, a big addition to this roster, but a guy who needs to find his own voice to be heard on the team, because top esports are quieting everything coming out of anyone's Legends camps right now.
Yeah, so there has to be an early game step up from anyone's Legend. This team showed a lot of promise earlier in summer, but it has started to slow down. That momentum has. And top esports on the other side, they started slow and they're starting to pick up steam again in the way that we know they absolutely can. Top esports want to make a surge towards the top. They have been left out of that conversation a little bit with LNG's resurgence and losing to BLG, but they are still top esports and they're still looking to take some heads and take some names.
Both teams on opposite ends of their trajectories right now. 3 2-0s in a row for top esports, looking to make it a fourth. Anyone's Legend, 2 losses in a row to JDG and Weibo. They need to prove themselves against these would-be top teams, and it's time for the Anyone's Legend roster to muster some of the strength we've seen them represent throughout the early parts of this split. But now it all comes down to a game 2, the positioning on the line for Group Ascend. A massive move in the table for top esports if they can pick up a 2-0 here as we get into game 2. See Meiko being pushed on. Love the level 1 coming out from Anyone's Legend, utilizing the Braum a little bit stronger here as well. And as I talked about it, the move, as I said, in Group Ascend, could be a massive one. They were, before going into the series, at a +3 game differential, obviously down 1 series score there. But if they get a 2-0 here, they go to +5. Weibo at 3rd place are at a +4 right now with the 4 win category. So it'd be really interesting what happens in the later half of this Rumble stage.
Yeah, and these teams are locked for playoffs. We know who's going through into the playoffs and who goes into the Knights rivals, which is effectively our last chance for playoff spots from both Nirvana and the Ascension group. So we know that for the Ascension, of course, Nirvana, there's one last team now to be determined on. That Tian going to be forced on with the level 1 spear. Not much you can do without that pounce unlock. You can still walk in late, get yourself some farm on the board, and make sure that Lilia, who loves taking up those Raptors first up, is not going to get access to them.
I'm just going to say, I love Croco. I love Nidalee. God, that skin for Nidalee just hurts my brain.
Wait, which one is it?
It's the, like, Yumi skin, the one that, like, makes it into, like, a fat cougar.
Is it the cat one?
Yeah.
Like yeah. So you know, I have a bone to pick about this because all of the dog skins are all the champions just like as dogs, whereas the cat ones are just people in onesies. There is someone at Riot is a dog person and not a cat person. They just put all the cat people in onesies. And I'm just saying, as a proud cat person myself, I grew up
You're
with
a
cats,
fox person, not a cat person.
Okay, that's true, but they're not great as pets, and I wouldn't trust myself with one. That's
they're actually
PSA
really good pets. I'm just gonna say, if you have them trained.
Right. There's a degree of it there. Anyway, I'm just sad that more of the cat skins aren't as like lovingly made
Yeah.
in that kind of sense. I know that they're trying to go for the different aesthetics, but I I don't like it, Mazel. I'm upset.
I'm just saying, cats and dogs are forming a team here, and you might go back to that like 2000s movie and think that might not be possible, but here, Shanks on the Corky skin, gonna have a lot of fun with the maybe presence that Croco can present, but Tian, he's looking to go right back to the aggressive form, trying to get back those chicky nuggies that were stolen away from him. Spotted out, though, as Croco comes around the corner. This is going to be fisticuffs for it, and Tian, I need to back away as Ala. He's come down all the way from topside, and he's going to get the hook shot there. Damage down on Tian. Spear not going to connect, though.
Yeah, we did say, hey, AL, what's happening with that early game? Let's get something to get Croco into the game. This helps a lot. Right there, Tian ended up... not going to see much after that point, but Tian got the AoE damage onto all of the mini raptors but didn't kill them, which meant that he had to back off because Croco could just go swipe across them and just take all of the small raptors to pounce and swipe. So AL, they take away almost one full set of raptors, they secure their own, and Croco still has his own camps to go towards as well. So at least this time Tian is not going to be running over the early game jungle matchup in the same way. He still tried to contest in the way that Tian does. He goes over towards those raptors and tries to fight, but yeah, he's lucky to get away with his flash and his life, kind of. If that hookshot had come through a little closer to Croco, would have been a spit, could have been a flash follow. After that, Tian would have died.
Love to see also Shanks picking up the prio in mid lane this game number 2. That was not the case in the game number 1 whatsoever. It felt like Creme having his number time and time again, but here able to help push a little bit more as the 3-level spike came through. Now Tian did end up taking the scuttle crab here, but looks like Croco is looking to try to go for a little play like Tian pulled off in game 1.
Just make sure he's got some extra work in this thing. He's waiting for his
He's
trap.
waiting, dude. He set the trap.
Yeah, and if he walks past there, he's going to get the mark put onto him, which gives you the increased pounce range. He's going to be spotted, but not walk over that trap. Croco get the smite in time.
Try to get it around the corner. He goes for the deep swirl seed in the end. He does make it out as well. Croco doing his best impersonation of a literal cougar.
Yeah, that's exactly what we needed to see from Croco, because his early game last game where he had the flash blown early, died in his own jungle, was about worst case scenario, and then Tian just kind of ran over the entire game. So that's something already good from AL. Tian now does have flash, could put the small seed over the wall. Croco is here to defend this because the way it's coming in. Ships in the night right now, don't need the jungler knows the other one is there.
Tian sticking around maybe a little bit longer. Croco completes the back. Ala, he's very low. He has no mana. Tian waiting for the perk down. Ala with the moves. Is it going to matter? No. Top Esports, another one. Bites the dust and a first blood for Tian.
And Ala also finds out the hard way. If you get hit by the outer ring of the Lilia Q, it does a little bit of true damage as well. So the magic shield doesn't matter at all. Ala goes down. He'll teleport back towards lane, but the kill going over to Tian despite the effort from AL. To shut this Lilia down. It feels pretty bad for them. This has been a way better early game already than in game 1, but is it going to be good enough? Because at the end of the day, it is top esports.
How is it that Tian yet again finds another mind-numbing play against Croco?
Because I think what happened here is that the vision plant went off. They spotted the vision plant go off, but then they thought, well, Gromp 3-timer should be up right now, so that should be respawned. He's probably on Gromp, because he spots out into that tri-brush as well and he sees that the trap's in there. Then he turns up in his brush and they get the timings wrong. They realize, okay, that's a problem. True damage comes through from just the edge of that Q there as well, a little bit of that coming through. Tian now goes back to his Gromp. That's the thing that they probably thought he was taking in that play, and that's why they were caught off guard.
You saw pings, red pings coming down to that Gromp side there as well, so maybe getting caught in the play a little bit, but that's been the name of the game for Tian so far against Croco. They will be proactive though, and this will be a trade at the same time. This is something we haven't seen in this series, and something Top Esports doesn't necessarily like.
No, but given the early game from Croco and Kael trying to get in with the Braum very early, and then Italy, of course, in their early potential as well. This is still fine for Top Esports. This is better than it could be. Tian is, of course, very far ahead where he could be now. Ala has himself at level 6, and he can start doing some damage against the Xante. The thing about this Camille and what AL will be looking towards that, the early game has been fine from Croco and Kael, it's got them some value, but now the problem is they actually find themselves at a deficit. What they're really looking for is 2 item spikes on everyone, but particularly, of course, they've got the double tiers of the carries, and then the 2 item Camille is absolutely gross. Once you get towards Triforce and that Ravenous Hydra, then the Cassante really struggles in these matchups. If you get that early enough for the Camille, then the Cassante really struggles to play out the game, and I'm sure anyone's legend will be waiting for that accuracy.
The problem is, though, this AL team composition, they want to stay as mobile as possible, and they don't really, okay, we're going to get a 2v2 on both sides here, and Enchanted Crystal Arrow going to be used by JackeyLove, sidesteps the Winter's Bite, and here comes the rest of Tian. I have to stop my story because they're about to 4-man dive on a Hope and Kael.
Oh, that's the swell seed as well. I guess it's a Kael. Here comes Creme.
There's the satchel charge already popped. They don't have the wave there. JackeyLove needs to push it out. Here comes the rest of anyone's legend. Top Esports, you got to get your hand out of the cookie jar real quick. They're going to go for 2 chocolatey ones here as they try to get the damage. It's not going to be enough. Tian falls, and now the best laid plans of Bison Men as it's Shanks picking up another one, and Top Esports, they're heading for the hills, but the hills, they have eyes, and Croco's going to be chasing down Creme. Can't get the spear in the end, but they have concussive blows, so it doesn't matter. And Creme, one more spear to the back. Croco takes another.
The dive takes too long. AL fire back and they get themselves that gold. AL, they wanted to, probably buy their time after this early game and get towards 2 items. They would love to be going there with a lead, though. The fact that now Croco gets 2 kills, he can power himself towards, well, looks to be that Lich Bane first item as well, to be a bit more of the assassin nearly, is really going to help out anyone's legend. They kind of needed this. The fact that Top Esports failed that dive, they waited too long, it gives them a bit of a gift in that sense, and it's rare to get that against Top Esports. But they'll take that with both hands. They'll go back towards base and get themselves closer and closer towards those first items and back into the game.
And that's a big, massive question mark for Top Esports. Why the play was being pulled off in the first place anyways. But we'll see if they can recover themselves a little bit. Anyone's legend showing some teeth of their own, and Croco having a much better game of keeping his head above water in the second one. But might be a little bit of question mark there now as well, as he will be pushed out of his own jungle. He's going to try to steal away the red, but is unvisioned.
He needs to be careful though, because Tian did use his ult in that last play. There's every chance that he could be CC down. You haven't got something like Merc Treads, nor do you think will lose the Nidalee. Yeah, eating up that ultimate, not particularly great. So this is going to be the full dive by the looks of it. Creme jumps out quite early, but he's going into the shield. He pulls out a lot of great roster shot. It ends up meaning that Hope doesn't trade back auto attacks onto him, but it's a really slow dive. The wave doesn't come out quick enough, and then this is a really good play from Hope and Kael to realize, actually, we can leave turret now because Croco's here. We don't have to stand directly on the turret. If we did, they probably would have died, so that's good for conversation between the bot lane and the rest of their teammates to make sure they can all coordinate this 4-man defense of the dive.
Shanks flashing forward to make sure he gets it. Meanwhile, the Winter's Bite from Kael. Love to see Croco and him combining strongly for once here in this series. And they will continue to do so as we take a look back, though. Kael is with Croco, but Tian looking pretty strong himself.
Arrow.
There's the arrow coming out. Now the go button has been pressed by Top Esports. Big true shot barrage, though. Hope trying to get down Creme. Now, meanwhile, Tian singing them sweet lullabies again. The burn is going to be enough, and they're going to try to find Shanks too. Look, JackeyLove has been untouched. Croco going forward now, though. JackeyLove, he's trying to step up to the plate, but Croco, he's got them claws, and he wants to pounce. There's the TP coming in now, though. Creme coming to rejoin. Creme looking for the resets, and here he comes for them. Reset City. Top Esports pull themselves back into the game.
Creme has left the station. Shanks are teleporting back in, looking for something more, but he's used his Valkyrie, he's used his flash.
Oh,
so he's going to get jumped
no.
up by Creme again. He could just die to Creme here.
He might have just lost the trade. Oh my goodness, now here comes Kael, though. They might have just turned it right back on its head. Both these mid laners just putting their bodies on the line.
Creme gets himself into the game. Couldn't do in that bot side dive, but Creme getting so much gold is a problem here for anyone's legend. For those of you who missed the changes to Justana, it's like, well, wait a bit, there's an all-out way. Want to talk about builds, talk about fights.
369 looking for revenge from game number 1, the solo kill, you know.
Okay, alright, so that's a small thing. But the gold on Tristana is really, really important. The thing which has changed about Tristana, there are 2 things. One, her Q got major changes, where she gets 15% less attack speed per rank of that rapid fire, and also costs mana now. It costs 50 mana. It used to cost nothing. It was a free skill to cast. But then also her W did get slightly lower in its mana cost, so it can maybe sometimes even out across longer phases of play when you've got multiple jumps. But on the whole, Tristana has more mana issues than she did, and she gets less attack speed than she did. She's still fine in regards to when she gets that Q max. That's sort of ridiculous amount of attack speed anyway. You get it through. Creme with the kills he's got coming through and the cull yet to be cashed in. He's happy to still be in a good position.
And comparatively to that game number 1, this is much more akin to the Anyone's Legend that maybe we've come to expect in this split so far, but still far from the absolute fight fest that maybe they would want against Top Esports. We take a look at that play starting off by Anyone's Legend playing pretty aggressive.
Yeah, and you look through this, and Tian still has his ult throughout all this. He has his flash. He's still stacking up the passive. He gets himself a 2-man Q. This is a pretty big change here, where he doesn't actually get the center of the W onto Shanks, because he can't walk that far forward. He probably would have walked eaten the next auto at 2, which he meant he would have died. So he gets Shanks out of the fight, but it doesn't kill him. It would have been nice to get that kill immediately. But on the other side, AL didn't get Creme out of the fight. He comes through, he gets himself into that play there, and JackeyLove kites like an absolute monster to make his way out.
No. Get the windows, Nymeara! Oh god, Grub again. It's Grub again. Oh god, Top Esports. They have complete control of the Grubs now. Oh god, Tian. Grub again. It's coming for him. He does get the nice little CC knockback though from 369, and he picks up the kill too.
Yeah, I could maybe take the 1v1 versus Tian, but not the 1v3 versus 369 and Meiko as well. The Peel squad has arrived. Top Esports, if there is one specialty that they have outside of so many others, I do think that 369 and Meiko are some of the best players at bailing out their team fights in the entire world. We know this about 369. He did it on JDG. He's done it on Top Esports before that for years as well. He makes his whole team's life so much easier with plays like that, and of course into team fights later on. And AL, despite them having a better early game now, they're getting to a point where they are going to have to deal with the Peel squad, dealing with healing for a very, very strong Lilia later on.
Yeah, that's the most terrifying thing as well for anyone's Legend as a whole. Creme playing a bit with his life there under the turret. Really good damage from Shanks now that he's being able to hit some of those spikes. And you start seeing some of the poke that's coming online for anyone's Legend, what they kind of drafted their composition around, and try and get to those 2-3 item spikes.
Yeah, if they can get towards that, that's important for sure. But then the problem is that it's quite hard for them to combo up with good setup. It's not like they have, because poke can sometimes turn into assassination when you have a Nautilus hook or a big engage factor. And of course, Zoe used to be the same with stuff like the bubble back there. Sometimes you just need one bit of CC for everyone else to land their stuff and just someone gets through. Harder for AL to do that. They have the hook shot, but that commits to a full fight. Herald's going to go down. AL haven't set up the poke shooting gallery so far, so they'll just have to play Safari League of Legends and watch the local wildlife. In this case, the Herald goes down.
Man, what I would pay to go to a wildlife sanctuary that had a Rift Herald, that'd be incredible. I think it'd be very scary. I don't know if it's like the San Francisco Zoo where they're just like roaming around. Yeah.
We have like
watch out, she's charging! Oh god!
It's
It's like, oh man, how do the mechanics work in real life?
I think the only thing I'd be more afraid of than a Herald charging is a hippo charging. Folks, I don't know how scary hippos are. Hippos are terrifying. Do not get between a hippo and the nearest body of water. That is how you become an ex-person.
Yes, it is. You get unlifed in those times. Speaking of unlifed, though, anyone's Legend, they're trying to make that happen on 369. They will end up getting the TP from top lane from Creme. So trying to stop any of the play that could be going on bot side. But it isn't anyone's Legend who feels like they need to be a bit proactive here, as Hope still playing super confidently in the mid lane, as Croco now has done cleared and is going to be looking for active plays himself.
Yeah, Hope is in a good point of power, of course. One of the things which AL can do with this team composition, which very hard, is maybe catching out Tian here. That's passive.
Oh, he can't get it. Okay, there's the pounce. They got the damage down. Lilting Lullaby is coming through here. They're going to get the sleep, though. Croco trying to follow up. He got the Seekers. They're getting the damage back from Creme. Tian flushes out. Oh, my God. This is masterful. As Tian does end up sacrificing Creme for it. Meiko going to save out JackeyLove. And anyone's Legend make a play on bot side.
And we see the Braum Shield block the Lilia ult. It is technically a little particle which flies to the champion, so Kael gets slept, but Croco doesn't. They can't turn onto the Nidalee, who would be the target they'd love to put down, because she's much more squishy is the Nidalee than the Braum with that shield up especially. Kael gets the heal, and Top Esports, they found a little bit wanting for the first time in this game as Tian blows the Seekers, loses his life as Flash as well. So that's a big win for anyone's Legend. They get themselves a couple of important kills. They're still behind in gold, but it will give them advantage on the setup for the next play. So a couple of key interactions here. So Tian is on vision. One thing you need to know is that when someone has the Dream Dust on them, there is a particle that flies to them when Lilia presses the ult. That's exactly what happens here. The spear happens, great combo coming in from Kael and Croco. But watch this. The Dream Dust is on both of them, and the shield blocks are heading towards Croco. That's not a bug, that's just how it works. It doesn't feel like it should be a particle effect, but there is a little thing which flies towards them. So Kael gets himself that heal as well, so he gets out alive, and they get themselves an important kill. They're on to Creme as Tian, of course, blows a lot of important things like his flash and his sequence.
And it's still surprising how much damage Shanks does. Like, the Trinity Force does some wild things, for Corki, but he's also almost being on that second item. We see some of the poke coming through there. But Dragon is up. Anyone's Legend have had full control over this. They do not want to wrestle it now, as the distraction Carnifex will be used in mid lane by top. Creme caught in the side, though. Ala is going to get the Hextech ultimatum on him. Creme in some trouble, does get the reset on the rocket jump, though.
Yeah, he gets himself that full bomb versus old One Eye in the mid lane, charges towards that turret, and goes forwards, trying to take down more and more of that turret HP. It's not going to kill the whole thing. They have 6 grubs, though, and it might fall soon after that. AL, they've used their big engage, and they get hit by the arrow.
That was the straight flash from Shanks! They end up not being able to follow it too much, though. They are going to get the difference maker from 369. Big true shot barrage there, as Ala is not here to join the fight. There goes Croco, stepping a little bit far forward. 3 knockback, though. Croco is burning, and he's going down. No primal surge available. Tian gets Winter's Bite put on him. Hope can't hit the Mystic Shot, though. And now the slows starting to come to bear, as JackeyLove will pick one up for himself. The genius might need to just make a genius play here now, though, as Hope and Ala, they are the last standing bastion for anyone's Legend. Creme coming over here, but Dragon is going to be the focus.
Yeah, huge plays from top piece, huge plays from 369, the god of Peel himself. So he comes through and finds a lot of nasty traps over there. Ala does have flash.
Ala with 2 kills ends up going down, but the flashiness comes alive, and in the end, it doesn't matter, as Top Esports will deny soul point from anyone's Legend.
Yeah, Ala sees the angle. Shanks is in now with 2 dead. Can Top Esports defend this? They'll
No
take the
way!
Dragon, but can they get out?
Creme ends up getting the Dragon. Here comes Shanks, though. Look at the damage he can put down now as well. Flash forward's going to come through as well. Not yet, at least. And now you do have the poke from anyone's Legend that helps to secure a lot of these back-end plays. Tian going to be spotted out here. Croco not wrapping back around, though.
369 is very, very happy with this amount of HP. They can't really take him down. And Top Esports, once again, just showing that with the frontline champions which they have, the champions which can heal for each other, like even stuff like Lilial can help with that one. 369 in particular, just showing exactly how hard it is to close off clean kills versus Top Esports. Against any other team, it felt like they would have walked away with another couple of kills at that point. But every fight they're being made to work, that's just a little bit harder for it. Now they're at the point where they're facing off against 2 items on Creme with those flicker blades. It means that if you get enough auto attack uptime, you get yourself a quicker second bomb and a quicker W. It wasn't available for this fight as well. And yeah, Shanks flashing the straight line. He gets himself some distance, but he's still in a huge amount of danger. The problem with Braum Shield doesn't stop the Recon combo, and doesn't stop someone like 369 shoving the back as well. This is the key point here. Use that barrier. But look how 369 plays this. He knows that 369, he can basically get the kill, but he can save the lower HP members before him by just like throwing his body into the fray. It's full contact team fighting. They attack you, you attack right back. Try and tackle them to the ground and get yourself some good value as you're going down. 369 understands that wonderfully. And Ala, he still has his flash after some. Of course, he uses it later for the 2-person kill, which is flashy. But
isn't this a classic Ala play?
Oh, huge.
He's like, all right, well, the game's lost. Things are not looking great right now. I'm going for the plays.
He gets the 3-man stun. It's all right. It's just the problem is you're going into you don't kill the people with a whole load of damage at the end of that. Sadly, Ala back on the map now, and sadly not able to catch Creme. You know, I respect that, Ala. He gets 2 for 1. I call that a win.
Absolutely. I'll see if he can continue to have some pressure in the side lane. Oh, Shanks. Tian hits that. He's like, maybe I go back. The rest of the team is missing, though, for anyone's Legend, so not going to turn that one over anymore, as it still is a pretty sizable lead for Top Esports, and especially a 2-item spike for Tian, but the Zanya's completed.
Yeah, so we talked about the Creme 2-item spike before. The other one I was going to talk about is Tian on their Zonyas. Lilial with Zonyas is a completely different champion to without. You are a low-range champion who's not that survivable, but as soon as you have that stasis, you can do enough damage and you can wait out the ultimate to proc, so you can come out and the CC's already there. The problem with Lilial when she procs her ultimate, it's not instant. It takes a little while to charge up, of course. It means that you can buy that extra time. You flash in. Once you have flash, Zonyas and ult, you are so ready to win team fights. So watch to see how Tian can have even more impact than he's previously had.
Well, for a side lane play onto Ala, they know he's pretty strong here, and they can't necessarily deal with him as much. Now, Tian, with the burns, this might be enough to get Ala down. They're going straight in on Meiko, though. Nice little spear blocked by 369. There's the arrow that I was expecting. A little bit more damage given and tanked up by 369, but Hope's going forward with the arcane shift. Does have True Shot Barrage to follow up. Ala deciding not to go forward with it, but this is where AL, they can find strength. It's on the back end of the fight. It's the poke that can come through. Now, Top Esports, they've been lying in wait. They're looking to go back in, but they don't have a good angle. And Ala still threatening the big hook shots.
Yeah, Ala's threatening, but the problem is the poke's not on someone like that Tristana. It's not like Top Esports don't have poke of their own. The 12 seeds can help. The volleys can help, certainly, too. So, AL, they get themselves a brief moment where it feels like they can chase down some good brawl cues, help with that as well. The Top Esports, they hold their ranks, and they make sure that no one is left alone to the Wolves. AL, yet again, not able to find clean fights, not able to find clean kills because Top Esports keep pushing back into Ala. You know, he's strong. He is a 2-item Camille. Even though he's down individual gold for 369, he is a strong Camille in terms of the item breakpoints. But he can't push up in the side lanes the way that he wants because Tian is constantly shadowing that lane. And AL, it's been a way better game than game one, but they can't find those clean points of attack.
The triple Triforce has been completed, the trifecta, if you will, for anyone's legend. They will be on 2 item spikes, even though I'm making a joke about it. This is a massive power spike for both Hope and Shanks, as they have the evolution now as well.
Feels like it should be like the cube force at that point. It's like, rather than squared, it's cube. That doesn't sound right because the cube is like
does it, yeah.
Like, what I said. It does it, but it was like, yeah, cube. Math. Yeah, okay, well, maybe not. But hey, someone called Link. I'm sure he'll be able to be the voice of reason on this one. Anyway, getting ourselves back onto the map. Dragon spawning, it would be sole point for AL, but it looks like they're leaving well alone on that. Ala left alone, and his hook shot cancelled.
Yeah, I mean, those Zintofu start doing some serious work. Ala, though, waiting with the sweep of the leg. Trying to take down 369, goes for the blast, goes for the play. Hextech Cultivate him, though. 369 getting away, and here comes Meiko. It's never a 1v1 when you got Meiko at your side. True Shot Barrage not going to be enough in the end, but look on the other side, the poke is not going to land, and Top Esports pick off the side lane.
Pick up the side lane, importantly so. Ala is at a point of power. It is an important point to play through towards anyone's legend, but they've not really been able to deal with that. But other people have just been able to interrupt the Camille's flow too much. That's going to lead to an easy dragon for Top Esports, and AL can't even start anything really on the top side towards the Baron. They might be able to push in for a top lane in a turret, and indeed they do. So they get themselves that. That is some gold traded back, but it's not really the trade they wanted. If they could have got the Baron, that would have been a much better prize for them, but they can't really burn it down in the same way that they would have liked. Creme with the 6 scrubs, being a Tristana, will also damage the inner turret on the bot lane very, very quickly.
They just completely take that down. That's going to be a ton of standing gold over to Top Esports. They will balloon their lead to just under 3,000 gold. It's been fluctuating a little bit as we take a look back at the side lane play.
Yeah, this is one of the big things you can do is the Sensei versus the Camille. Use your ult to cancel that hook shot. No way you're getting away from that one. Stick them into the fight with you. Thing is, Ala is still at a very big point of power, so he can still make the play in the 1v1 in a lot of ways. But problem is, he's just not alone in that side lane. 369 buys enough time for the Guardian,
Dude, get you
shield,
somebody.
and everything that comes through. Meiko, huge plays with those extra shields.
Get you a man like Meiko. Everyone should be looking for a man like that. I don't know. That was incredible. He also stepped away initially because he's like, oh, there's no way Ala goes back in. Definitely does, and taking advantage of that one all day long is 369. Now on 3 items himself as well. Gonna be the Cassante that all the coffee pastas are made out of, as we're getting ready to scuffle over this top side.
Yeah, so Top East was largely focusing on defending against Ala in the bot side for a while. They've already lost their bot lane out of turret now, so you don't have to pull as many resources towards that bot lane to defend it better. No longer there. Baron's up, and no, AL, they do have themselves a good amount of damage. They have themselves the triple Trinity Force, we talked about that before, but also the double Muramana, of course, worth noting as well. AL, they have the damage. Can they land it, and can they finish off a kill before the kill comes in from Top Esports? That has been the real kicker this game, and it always is against Top Esports. They are so good at peeling for people who are on low HP and trading off frontline duties, where everyone's low HP, but the one person with HP will then go and take up the frontline duty. Makes it very, very hard to finish off kills. AL will need to really smack that first hit home.
If they do so here as well, because I think in a lot of situations this poke would be super difficult to deal with, and we see a little bit of that being pulled off right now by anyone's legend. They can push you off of your turrets in a defensive manner, but it is also a situation where they aren't necessarily threatening a Baron to be burned down immediately.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not uncontested poke too, which we mentioned a little earlier, where this poke looks great from AL up until 2 people get hit by a spell seed. And at that point, it is not very good. Now, you do have a QSS on Shanks, you do have a cleanse on poke, but still having to blow them defensively is not what you want to see. So some emphasis on Tian. See if he can get himself those unassisted spell seeds. Our best Lily is in the LPL, which Tian is amongst them. I think you've got players like Xiao Hao, I think Kanavi's fantastic. Look, there are a lot of... Folks, there are a lot of good Lilies in the LPL. It's one of the reasons we pick it so much. But one of the things that the best Lilias do within the LPL is find those spell seed angles and read people's body language. And now he's in the bot side. No.
I love that they even brought down the Enchanted Crystal Arrow instead as well. They are going to try to get the collapse here. Who are they going to give it to? It's to Tian. Of course it is. Meanwhile, on the other side, they do not have the resources to try to pull another side play.
Yeah, AL, they have never sent anyone else to Ala's lane, and Ala is playing as though he has 1 or 2 extra people in his lane, and it has been to his detriment. Maybe if someone was there, you could play around the Kael a bit heavier, but top Esports, they have been quick into the side lane, they've been decisive in the side lane. Ala is behind in this matchup quite heavily now, compared to especially compared to where you should be.
Oh my goodness, you see even Creme playing with some confidence down in the inhib turret of anyone's legend. As it is still feeling like top esports world here. You have to remember through all of this, we said how much top esports have been turning it on here recently. A 3-win streak, but all 2 zeros. And see if they can continue that streak here. JackeyLove going to be stopped from his back by Hope.
That's a good recall. That's a good recall cancel too. Dragon's up in a minute. Baron's up now. You have to defend this mid lane out. So you'll probably lose it anyway. Creme's jumping in now to try and get JackeyLove a little bit of help.
There's the instant cleanse. He doesn't have the Dream Dust on him anymore, but the Kael down will mean Creme gets the resets, and Hope now in some trouble. He had everything available to him. He used it all, and it didn't even matter. As Linkin Park comes to mind, top esports have dominated this series.
Yeah, AL maybe left feeling a little numb as they go crawling back towards the Nexus. They are sent backpacking after they tried to stop the recall of JackeyLove. They overstay. And top esports, they are the ones to take this Baron, but less Croco can steal.
They're going to deny him. They get the golden out of him, though. It's getting a little low. Croco, he can't make the play. Now Creme just flashing for the kill to put the Cougar pelt on the wall. And top esports come away with Baron. They do lose a tier 2 in bot. They do lose their outer tower in mid, but pity prizes for anyone's legend.
Yeah. And AL, they went towards that Nidalee. They thought that human Cougar hybrid theory would work out for themselves, but it just hasn't had the value. They had that early game, which helped out a little, but they've been struggled to transition that into the mid game. And top esports, they have been sinking the fangs in every time they can. It is so hard to get clean kills versus top esports. And on the other side, feels like if you make one mistake this, the whole game just explodes. It's happened here again, and now it's going to be Soul Point, Baron pushing in waves, and AL are left in the dust.
I just want you to know that there is a deer with fangs, and it's a water deer.
What?
From Korea
yeah, I've seen that
and
before.
China.
That's great.
Yeah, hey, it fits perfectly here because Tian definitely is a water deer. That deer's got some fangs on it, and it's looking very terrifying. 6-1 and 5, 2 back-to-back masterclass series games from him. And now anyone's legend trying to make their play, trying to get the engage, get the X-Tech ultimatum on Meiko, but that's not your target, as Creme and JackeyLove have been untouched the whole time. You're starting to lose the health bars. Look at the burn while they're asleep. 369 knocked back, and Tian takes him out. Kael is gone. Your front line is gone, but the siege continues by top esports.
Another fight, another 2-man shove from 369 with his W being the peel dog once again. This will lead to the inhibs going down. This will lead to AL probably heading towards a 0-2 and their loss streak continuing. Top esports racking up momentum themselves.
As anyone's legend slips, top esports pick up the ball and run with it. This will be 4 2-0s in a row. This will be a regaining of dominance for top esports, a team that found themselves in the finals in spring, and they got to fight tooth and nail for this one. The Nexus is down, and they will make a huge jump in the standings in Group Ascend with their 2-0 victory over anyone's legend.
Yeah, game 1 wasn't really a contest. Game 2, it was. Credit to anyone's legend, they had a better early game, but that's step 1. What are steps 2 through 10? They cannot fell this beast, and top esports. I mean, what do you say? Every time that you showed a weakness to them, it feels like they pounce so effectively. And when you feel like they've made a mistake, they cover those weaknesses so incredibly well too. Every team fight, you look at Meiko and you look at 369 and the way that they're peeling for their carries, the way that 369 is always there, putting like the W up from Cassandre to shove someone back away from their carries. The way that Meiko is putting the shields on as well makes everyone else shine so well. This is what we saw from, back when we saw 369 over JDG as well. It just makes your carries look that much better. The fact that you can play with that confidence that you are going to have that backup from the supporting cast of this team makes it so much easier to play the game. And top esports, they did lose to LNG, they did lose to BLG. They are not the top dogs in the LPL as it stands right now, but they could very much well be again, especially with gameplay like this, if they start building that momentum.
Because again, you have to remember those losses